Hi Taurus, thanks for joining me for your December 2017 Astro Tarot forecast. I know that I can hear the train, so I'm pretty sure you can, but I find this environment very soothing. I am in New Jersey, in the home I was born and raised in. I'm shuffling the new Palladini Tarot by David Palladini. I'm slowly in love with this deck. I shouldn't say slowly, it's just I use it all the time. Oh, I can see the train behind me now. Here's what the back looks like. And if you want to book with me, I'm having a special, which is if you choose a 60 or 90 minute Astro Tarot forecast through the 24th of November, you will receive 10 free minutes to tack on to the end of that reading or to use at any time prior to the end of 2017. So consider that if you're interested in a reading with me. I appreciate this so much. I wanted to thank you also for your likes, for your subscriptions, and for your donations. So let's start. On the 1st of December, we have Venus, your ruling planet, making a transit into the sign of Sagittarius. And for the month of December, this is where the majority of our energy is, in Sag and Capricorn. So this ignites the 8th house of intimacy and shared resources and investments and other people's money and even sex and the more private is the word I'm searching for, intimate but private aspects of your life. And with Venus here, there is a harmony, and this is a very romantic energy and intimate. There's an expression of adoration and devotion here with Venus in this 8th house. She'll last there through the 25th of the month. And on the 3rd of December, our Mercury retrogrades at 29 degrees of Sagittarius in this 8th house, back through the 11-degree mark through the 22nd of December. And before making it out of Sag, he'll go all the way back halfway and he'll cross over Saturn while he's doing so, because Saturn's getting ready to leave this sector, and he's been there for 3 years. So I believe there's a final lesson and alignment for Taurus, for all the signs, but applying in the 8th house for Taurus. There's a final lesson in regards to either your intimacy or your shared resources as an intimate partnership. Now, if you're single, be prepared for a phone call or a communication from an intimate lover from the past. The 8th house is the house of sex, too. There's no denying that you could be hearing from people who used to know you in that way. And with this Saturn energy here, I feel like there's a bit of a red flag that you will have to assess in this area. Whether or not they deserve the phone call to be returned back is another story. But there is a discerning and a serious tone, a discerning tone to this retrograde over Saturn. And it could also be that someone who you have invested your time and money and resources in is maybe a little bit disappointing, is what I want to say. We'll see what happens in the tarot. That might help us more to figure that out. But there is a lesson. There's a final lesson before Saturn leaves here, and Mercury assists in that because there's the knowledge behind this, the knowing, which is Mercury. You find out a few things, and it could be about your existing partnership or one that you used to have that comes out of the woodwork again in the retrograde. And they do. On the 3rd as well, our full moon exists that day, the same day Mercury goes retrograde, and that is at 11 degrees of Gemini, our full moon. So there's an awareness in money for Taurus. This is the 2nd house. So where is your money? What's the budget like? There's closure in this 2nd house. And this is even about your confidence and your self-esteem and self-worth. Putting closure to self-doubt is what I'm hearing. And closure to lack of value. Okay, so if you're just hard on yourself, if you're not very kind and supportive of Taurus, I think this is the moon where that's illuminated, and maybe you catch yourself in self-deprecating talk. Maybe you catch yourself in a moment of saying something pretty bad about yourself, and there's an awareness here. So heed that. Be loving. Be kind to yourself with your words. You generate your life this way and this way. What you think and what you say has the most power. So there's something in this moon for Taurus that suggests a kinder approach to you and how you value you. On the 9th, Mars enters Scorpio, which is the 7th house of partnership. That's your polar opposite sign, and that is also where Jupiter is for a full year. So Mars conjunct Jupiter in the 7th house of soulmates. I think if you're a Taurus and you're single, look out, because it's headed your way. And if you're in relationship, you're getting married or you're progressing this. If you're not conforming to normal societal advancements such as marriage, there is maybe a ceremony or some kind of certification or solidifying this, and it doesn't have to be legal, but there could be some kind of joining ceremony. Jupiter wants you expanding this sector. So whatever you've done up until this point, it will be elevated somehow. And it's not always the way you think you have control over things. It's a beautiful energy. Watch your tone, though. One negative point to Mars in the 7th is that you come across harshly at times to the significant other if you're in relationship, or you have some kind of aggression that needs to get out, and you just don't want to take it out on business partnerships or marriage at this time. On the 18th, we have our new moon here in 26 degrees of Sagittarius in that 8th house again. So it's 8th house, 7th house. And this is a great time to consider buying new property. It's a great time to start new intimate experiences, to invest in something with your partnership, shared resources. New property would be amazing. Whatever your goal is, you have to set your intentions around the new moon 2.5 days before, 2.5 days after. It has the highest potential, and keep your vision about where you want to see yourself. This could be new sex in the 8th house. It could be, some Tauruses have a secret that you are holding very tightly, new secrets. Privacy might become very important to you. And around this new moon of the 18th. And who you're sharing your time with is very discerned. You are really limiting who you give energy to. Now on the 19th, Saturn makes his exit out of Sagittarius into Capricorn for 3 years through the 17th of December of 2020. So Saturn's home here in Capricorn. That's his ruling planet or ruling sign of the zodiac. So, I'm sorry, Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. That's the ruling planet of Capricorn. So I got it all twisted. But he's home here, and this is in the 9th house for you. And this is foreign travel, higher certifications, learning, metaphysical areas of life, your philosophies, religions, belief systems. You're going to go through an overhaul here, and Saturn has you discerning this area for 3 years. It would be great for Taurus to study. The best time to get degrees and an education and to advance in your studies, even if it's online courses, that applies. And it is a beautiful time for you to retain information, and intensely, because Pluto is there. And eventually these planets are going to be sitting on top of each other through the end of 2018 and 2019, all of the year. That's Saturn and Pluto, and that's pretty powerful combination. You might feel like you're in so much schooling and study that you feel restricted. It is a restrictive energy, and it's a controlling energy. So I feel like whatever you throw yourself into could really take up a lot of your time and energy. But this is 3 years where I feel like it helps you. It works for Taurus. And all of this Capricorn energy really works for Taurus because it trines the placements you have here, where you hold Taurus, Taurus rising, or Taurus moon. And please watch all 3 of those signs for a full cosmic catch-up. On the 21st, the Sun enters Capricorn, and on the 25th, Venus enters Capricorn. So again, 9th house. Once the Sun and Venus are in Once Venus is in Capricorn on the 25th, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you. That's the time to plan your foreign travel. And that could also be the theme of where you study. You could be traveling a lot and wanting to learn, but feeling a little limited in the process because you might not have all the resources to do what you need to do right off the bat. But this is a long period of time. When Venus enters there on the 25th, though, that would be the greatest time of the year to plan a trip for yourself and to get to a foreign location that you have always wanted to go. And Mercury will be direct at that point, so it's smooth sailing there. Let's get to the cards. I'm excited to see what comes up for you, Taurus. And if you would like to book with me, I'm at audreyalison.com. I read all through the week. And you can find me there and select your desired reading link via PayPal. And I'll get back to you in an email or in a day or two to set that up. Okay. Taurus. Here are your cards for December. 5 of Swords. This guy came out before. Watch the communication right now, and there's a little harsh tone in the air because of the retrograde. But the 5 of Swords suggests harsh conversation and even someone trying to take something from you. Let's see what else comes up before I get ahead of myself. The Magician. This is the only reading he's showed up. And this is the card of Mercury in the Tarot, and Mercury is retrograding. But what this card says, as a major arcana card, as the first card after the Fool, you have all of the tools you need at home right now to manifest your creative project, your desired creative project. You see the infinity symbol over his head, and that's kind of like, these. I feel like you have, it's like you've always wanted this, and now it's coming back to you, and now the opportunity's here for you to achieve something that you might have always wanted to do, that you could be drawing from the past. Chariot, major arcana card. Victory. It is complete victory. It is the highest victory card in the Tarot. And it is travel. And I think that when that 9th house is activated after Mercury goes direct, which is very important, the 25th of December forward, it's travel time, Taurus. And you have a lot of success in that area. You also have 2 major arcana cards so far. It's a time of change and elevation. Wow. Emperor, another one. You have another card too. I don't know what it is, but we'll see. 3 major arcana cards is major. This is the card of Aries, but it's also leadership, ruling, control, being the boss, taking control of your life. It could be the boss figure in your life, but I think you have victory if you were to become your own boss. For those of you thinking of entrepreneurial, a switch to that, thinking about doing something on your own, you have people willing to invest in you. And maybe you're thinking of being your own boss, but you need investors to do it. The last card is the 8 of Cups. And normally I would say this is an emotional card, which it is, but seeing him turn his back on all of those cups, it's almost like Taurus is ready to turn their back on something where there's a group of people and become more individualistic, become the leader and not the follower. Not to say you're all followers, but that's just the message I'm getting. Don't worry about, this is stress, anxiety, nervousness, miscommunications. This could all be within the retrograde for you. So please watch what you're saying and how you're saying it and how you're delivering your messages from the 3rd of December through the 22nd. It's a temperamental time, and not everything can be received the way you're saying it. So there is something in that says, you know, take a pause. Victory's at hand. This is unbelievable. This is power. This is control. This is dominating your field. This is also having all the tools you need to manifest your destiny. And the magician, you can't get that wrong. The magician, he's the manifester. He is Mercury. And I think with some direction, Emperor, with focus, and it's a Mars card. Mars is in Scorpio in the 7th. I'm not getting partnership here. I'm getting soloship in terms of business, in terms of maybe even relationship, but I'm not getting relationship vibes. So I'll just stick with my vibes. It could be the perfect time to branch out on your own in terms of how you're earning your money. And since your 8th and 2nd house are so lit up in the astrology, I get a sense of becoming your own boss, becoming your own authority, and making the move and taking the risk because you know you have everything you need now to do it. So good luck. I'm hoping this applies. And if it doesn't, please check your rising and your sun and feel free to book a reading with me so we can get very specific. I'm wishing you a happy holiday, Taurus, and a Merry Christmas. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.